Content warning: the following article contains spoilers for the Netflix show Money Heist. With a spin-off about Berlin and a remake in Korea, there's no denying that Money Heist continues to be a popular show. The series has its fair share of frustrating characters, as the robbers don't always make the best decisions or stick to the professor's plan. One thief who made questionable decisions during his time in the series is Palermo. There's no shortage of memes that reflect Palermo's volatile personality and bizarre decisions on the show. Whether it's his foolish choice to help Gandia or his enduring love for Berlin, these memes perfectly sum up his major actions and characterization in the series. Evading blame when discussing some of the worst things the characters did on Money Heist, fans are more likely to point towards Tokyo's reckless actions and Arturo's frustrating time on the show. There wasn't a huge outcry about Palermo's major mistake that ended up costing Nairobi her life, though. A gut-busting meme captures this unfair level of attention, as only a few fans dwelled on the fact that it was Palermo who helped set Gandia free. Without his intervention, it's possible that the fan favorite Nairobi could have survived until the end. The better couple. A defining aspect of Palermo's character is his unrequited love for Berlin. Their relationship is mostly explored through flashbacks, which explain why Palermo is the tough and volatile character he is during the heist. He wanted nothing more than to be with Berlin, but never gets the chance to even say goodbye. Despite how hopeless it is, a meme highlights the way fans are still more likely to approve of shipping Palermo and Berlin rather than Rio and Tokyo. This makes sense, considering the younger couple are more prone to making mistakes and they prove that their romance is unhealthy. The annoying characters. While there's no questioning that Palermo is one of the best characters in the show, he is also one of the most annoying robbers. No matter what his intentions were going into the heist, he quickly proved that he can achieve the same level of irritation fans have for villains like Arturo, Gandia, and Alicia. This sentiment is captured in a meme placing these hated characters side by side. That said, unlike some of the characters he's compared to, Palermo does manage to redeem himself by becoming more open and vulnerable towards the end of the series. Letting Gandia go, an unforgettable moment in the show, has stuck with viewers' minds for all the wrong reasons, as it depicts Palermo's betrayal of his own crew by helping the dangerous character Gandia escape. This major decision leads to Nairobi's death, not to mention the way it necessitates Tokyo's sacrifice when she's cornered by the antagonist. A humorous meme highlights the absurdity of this choice, which is, unfortunately, in line with the recklessness and anger the character has shown up until then. He selfishly decides to betray the other robbers because he feels powerless, which is a position he can't tolerate. Their final kiss, love him or hate him, it's hard to imagine the sorrow and heartache Palermo experienced after learning about Berlin's death. He was the love of his life, and even though it was unrequited, he probably still hoped he had a place in Berlin's future somehow. A witty meme underscores the terrible pain Palermo felt after Berlin's passing, while also implying the disastrous result of that death. Palermo put his guard up and acted out of anger because of that event, leaving behind his more compassionate side at the worst possible time. A major part of the plot. Although several of his actions on the show are frustrating, most fans would agree that Palermo was a huge part of the reason the final seasons were so entertaining. Without an antagonistic element in the group, things would have gone too smoothly for the robbers, which is a bad thing when the goal is to capture audiences' attention. A hilarious meme puts controversial characters like Palermo and Stockholm next to each other, highlighting the need for these well-written robbers. He may not always make the best choices, but they add some much-needed confrontations and tension to the show. It was his fault. Nairobi is a character who deserved more in Money Heist, and her abrupt death caused an uproar among fans who have fallen in love with the likable character. This reaction overshadowed any blame that should have been placed on Palermo, as it's his fault Gandia ever got to the position where he could shoot Nairobi. An important meme emphasizes Palermo's role in the untimely death. He certainly didn't get enough flack for his choices that empowered Gandia, which made him complicit in Nairobi's demise. Fans are still hurting from that bad decision, but not enough point out Palermo as the culprit. Just dance when he's not being angry or arrogant. Palermo does have a goofy side that can come out when he feels comfortable. These rare moments are shared with those closest to him at first, including the professor and Berlin. Eventually, the whole gang witnesses his silly characteristics. One of Palermo's favorite activities, when he's feeling happy, is to dance in an amusingly flamboyant way. He gives it his all and often has a partner to share the moment with, which is often the reluctant professor or the skillful Berlin. Unconditional love. One of the best things that happens to Palermo is his relationship with Helsinki, which deepens quickly once they both realize they're attracted to each other. Helsinki brings out a softer and more protective side of Palermo, who soon learns that it's okay to be vulnerable around others. A humorous meme sums up the kind of connection they had, as Helsinki would do anything for Palermo if he asked. If things were different, and they met under more peaceful circumstances, it's not hard to think that they'll be walking off into the sunset to start their idyllic future together. Tired of time out, Palermo's concerning impulsivity and rage understandably drive the rest of the gang to overthrow him as their leader. They go one step further and restrain him to make sure he doesn't jeopardize the plan, which he still manages to do with his hands tied. A funny meme highlights Palermo's frustration at being stuck on the sidelines while the heist goes on around him. He doesn't like not being in control, so he finds a way to influence the events that unfold in the worst way possible.